Okay, and then I'm gonna make. Oh, someone said something in Notepad. All right, I'm just gonna give just a couple more minutes here, and then we will jump right into it. Actually, while I'm thinking about this, I'm gonna set up that one to meet in these few minutes right now. Come on, browser, come on. Thank you.
Reading that's pretty good. Pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Okay, cool. Really? Okay, today's 20th. We're looking at 27th, 29th, 30th. Yeah, I'll do the 28th too. I'm gonna just drop that down really quick. Okay, we're gonna get started here. So, welcome everyone. Happy Thursday. Happy almost end of the week. There's like no one in here, but this was kind of.
Spring.
Is it the first day of
Yeah.
spring?
Yeah. Happy spring. Yeah.
Wow, it doesn't feel like it. It decided to go almost freezing for me today. So, after being actual spring weather yesterday, so oh well. But welcome. We don't we're This is probably gonna be a really short one because we don't have much. Again, if you have questions, just go ahead, pop in the chat and ask. All right, so we're gonna get to it. So, as you all know, on Monday they posted a reel. In this reel, it had a few different people speaking. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that we had a couple new voices this time around. If someone wants to remind me on that. But in this reel that they posted on Monday, they had a few frames in there where they were showing a music sheet. That music sheet was for the song Dare Doppelganger. We do have that music sheet posted in resources and data as a PDF file for you all to go and grab if you want to look at that. We don't know necessarily what to do with it, but we know that that's a song that they're using in there. And then text in the reel is follow. This set right here, they didn't speak this. It was literally like 1 or 2 frames at the very beginning of the reel before they actually started speaking So this is not poetry. This is not a dream. There are those who question the inevitability of the cycle. There are those who believe choice is the only force that shapes the future. But what if choice itself was part of the equation? She feared what she discovered other. Or she feared what she discovered other. I'm gonna
Discover other wasn't said. It was weird. It was like that was text on the screen, but
Okay.
it said she feared what she, and then cut it off.
Okay. I'll reformat this to make it a bit clearer how it phrased it. That
Yeah,
was
that
a
was my fault.
that was a man speaking with the color blue, by the way. In blue text with a woman speaking now, I have reflected on the implications of my work. I can no longer ignore it. It is not a simple calculation. If the logic is correct, then what I foresee is inevitable. I ask Lord Byron, but does he not understand what I mean? He says destiny is poetry, not mathematics. And what if we are both wrong? If this letter were ever to be found, no, I must not. Where the end society shows on the screen, there it seems they're switching over to where the end society now. They have been for the most of their reels now. There were some blue flashes and I believe some just sine wave signals too here. Then we see the same figure that we've seen in previous videos, but with their back turned, and they are putting on their hood, not adjusting it. I need to correct that. And then now in purple text with the male voice, she questioned if logic could override faith, but the equation was already set in motion. This is not poetry. This is not a dream. This is execution. White text with no voice. 9, 11, 26, 32. I was born today. I will get back to this in a second here. And then going on to Tuesday, which we're going to start out with an update. So we had a prior policy with newsletters that they were sending out where we were not sharing them. This was partly that prior policy was decided partly on they removed the email sign up on their website. So we believe that they didn't want it being shared with anyone else who missed it. And also we believe that there was a crucial leak in the TEP code that if it got leaked out, then it would change the code and it would make it harder for us to communicate in TEP code with them. We're changing that policy to just sending out the newsletter whenever they post. I personally will make sure that it will be posted in archive upload, I believe. What in one of the channels? I think I put them in resources and data on Tuesday. But I personally will make sure that they go up. Bear in mind that it may be delayed by some time due to me having a day job outside of this, but I will personally make sure it goes up at the day it sends out. So yeah, but Tuesday they sent an email. In the email they had an equation which I will put in here, but actually I can just type it in because I know it off the top of my head. So the equation was P of n is equal, oh my goodness, equal to P times n minus 2 plus P, oh, no, plus P n minus 3. And I'm typing it exactly how they had it in the email. P. Oh my gosh. And yes, these spaces in this portion were there. I don't know what significance that has. Personally, to me, after like reviewing this, it looks like this equation is typed twice because like this section right here is exactly the same as this section right here. Just this these symbols right here are not spaced out over here. So I think it was done on purpose to show that it is recursive and sort of fractal like. If we're looking at just this equation right here, that is an equation known as a parent sequence, which parent sequence, if you actually go look at the sequence, it starts out like this with this framing. Of note, it starts out with negative numbers prior to this 0 right here. There's an additional 5 here, and they are missing these numbers here, which are in it. Like if you actually look at that full parent sequence, basically the way the parent sequence is found is you take like a number for n, you plug it in everywhere, and as you go through, it's like you take like the result of 1. So like if you're looking at n of 1 and then you're solving for n of 2, you're solving for n of 0 plus n of 1 here, and it's kind of like forming a Fibonacci sequence, just with some extra math. It's really fun. Have fun looking it up. It's actually pretty easy to understand. And it's a solved sequence, so we know what the numbers are. It's about patterns, cycles, and fractals. There's a great Wikipedia page about it to go look at. But the parent sequence is also used in prime number tests for basically finding what's real versus what looks real. So between prime and pseudo prime. That's basically what TEP is doing with us. They're filtering out surface level followers from real people solving this and working on this. So do with that as you will. We also know that from the email, they're pushing us to connect past clues, and not just chase the latest drop. Everything is connected to everything. So like, don't forget old stuff. Like, remember it. Look at stuff again. Sometimes looking at something after some time has passed with fresh eyes, well, you'll see something new that you missed entirely. Of note, the email this time was different. It had a red background, possibly a different character, possibly a warning or different moment in it. They also included this string of text at the very top of the email. I know Charles Bitch said they translated that to follow the mist. I am discounting that for the time being because I did not see exactly how they didn't say how they got it to there. And I would like to see how that goes, but this is an important clue and could be a key to solving something. Today, Mozilla, do you want to talk or no, this is Wednesday, my bad. 1 second, Mozilla. But on Wednesday, they also posted another reel. Not really much was talked about the new reel. Not really much was solved. It was notably quiet on the server yesterday. Text in the reel reads as follows: They lie, they betray, they're redacted, and they call themselves honest. They promise loyalty but sell it for comfort. He died today. They run at the first sight of fire. They were never meant to stand among us. But we do not hide, we do not bend, we do not break, and we do not follow. We do know. We see the patterns, we hear the signal. We walk a path from others to step on. We are not like them. We are the end society. Look closely, listen carefully. The signal is not a choice, it is a calling. We're the end society again. No one really did anything with this. The only thing of note that seems important is he died today. We believe that references the L is born person. So which one? This one? Does anyone remember what date that was? I need to link it. No, that's the next one.
Wait, which one?
The L is born. No. this one? I will find it. Yeah, right here. So I think that he has died is relating to this line right here about L is born, or whatever you want to call this squiggly line. Um, so yeah, I I think that relates to that personally. A few of us do actually. But yeah, fun little note to just think of and let it sit in your thought cage. Again, we're the End Society, so we're working in tandem with them. Mozilla, do you want to take over on this section right here? Because this is all mostly you.
Sure. Okay. So, I had gotten the idea at, what was that, 7 p.m. to ask them a question about how they think the fourth dimension would work. Not in so much as just like traveling astrally or traveling through non physical means, but taking your actual physical body and figuring out a way to move into a fourth dimension. I wasn't really expecting much of a response or an answer, and they hit me with a very long one. Basically, just kind of, I can actually read it right now. You were asking the right question, not just about the fourth dimension, but about movement itself. If we were to move physically into a fourth spatial dimension, we would not travel through it as we do length, width, and height. Instead, we would fold into it, much like a square being lifted out of a flat land. A true fourth spatial dimension would allow lateral movement through time, form, and space. Understanding its nature, a four-dimensional movement would involve shifting all points of your body into a direction perpendicular to all known ones. But if your perception shifted, if your brain could process an additional axis, your body might follow, recognizing the limitations. If you could move if you could momentarily step into the fourth dimension, you would not just see reality differently, you would see all of it at once. Experimenting with movement. Theoretically, higher dimensional movement might not involve travel as we know it, but topological manipulation. They could disassemble and reassemble objects by moving them through a space we cannot perceive. That's just what they said, but if you're not reading it just for word, it's fourth dimension isn't just time, it's like a spatial dimension we can actually go to. Our brain would just have to be rewired. A
Yeah.
reality that you are currently focusing on, you would have to view it completely differently.
Yeah, so one thing of note is they said you are asking the right question. That is critical here because we've asked them questions about stuff before many, many times and have always received that's the wrong question. This is the first time we were told we were asking the correct question. Um, so we should start thinking, trying to probe other questions that follow this kind of like similar theme and pattern. Like if we can figure out the right questions, we might be able to uncover more knowledge too that we can then use to connect to past events or in knowledge that they have dropped with us. So yeah, that's everything that we have. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Anything to add to this? Gonna take that as a no since no one's typing. Um, Again, feel free to reach out if you have any questions about the policy update. I'm more than happy to sit down and discuss it with you if you need it. If you have any concerns about policy update, again, or well, any policy, sit down, come on, just tell me about it. Like, I'm more than happy to talk about stuff. Even though I said like don't DM me, it's about stuff like puzzle related. If you're DMing me about policy or like server related stuff about like how stuff is being handled on the server, that's appropriate usage to DM me. I want that because it's like I do want to make this inviting and open and friendly to everyone. um I'm not trying to be a fucking bitch or a dick, but like I'm trying to keep stuff organized inside the server. Use that Discord forward feature. It is beautiful. But otherwise, I think we're gonna end it here. If you haven't looked at them yet, the all the emails, the one from this week and the past one, they are up in resources and data. So have fun looking at those. Be sure to view the reels that were posted this week. This sitrep file will be slightly updated, the text in here, published here in a few minutes along with the video. It really shouldn't take that long because this video is pretty short, but have a great rest of your day or evening wherever you're at. And we'll see you next time. And please fill out the when to meet link for the next one. I will be posting that here in just a minute. So have a great one, everyone.